All right, thank you for tuning in. And welcome to the latest edition of Ragic Office Hour. And let's get started on the questions. Well, before we get started on the questions, and last week was a question about the Google Map integration using Make with Ragic. And I think we have it right here. Now, Fabio was kind of curious how to do a Google Map integration with Make. And last time I was kind of confused with because I never have any experience with using Google Map with Ragic. But one of our partner, our automation, has contacted me, and they have let me know that they do have there are some great integrations that you could do with Google Maps between Google Maps and Ragic. So they even made a video on how to do this kind of integration. So for those of you that's interested in this kind of integration, I'm gonna play this video here first, and for your so you can know this is kind of a really nice way to integrate Ragic with Google Maps if you have this kind of requirement. Let me see if I can play it here.
Ragic and Google Maps integration using Make.com. Create a powerful tool for your business by connecting your Ragic instance to Google Maps by leveraging Make.com. Here's a solution that was achieved by leveraging Ragic and Google Maps integration via Make.com. A large commercial construction company was experiencing a decline in overall profit percentages for jobs outside of its core footprint due to rising costs in fuel as well as productivity delays. Additionally, key elements about the overall building structure were being missed by estimators who were not able to visit the properties in person. This resulted in underpriced bids that didn't allow for those fuel surcharges, travel time accommodations, and/or special property considerations. The commercial construction company needed to be able to automatically calculate fuel surcharges for extended travel times when bidding on jobs outside of its core footprint. Further, production managers needed more information regarding the true travel times of the crews to get to the job site. Often, they were spending as much time or more traveling to and from the job site versus actual billable production time. This resulted in elongated job completion and missed deadlines. Lastly, estimators who were unable to visit the job sites in person didn't have an accurate aerial visual of buildings to aid in measurements as well as other factors that could lead to unforeseen costs. The solution that was achieved utilizing Make.com allowed for them to seamlessly integrate Ragic with Google Maps to improve bid accuracy, cost projections, and overall completion targets. There was an increase in productivity and schedule timelines by enabling dynamic time and distance calculations between the locations where the crews were being dispatched and to the job sites. Additionally, aerial imagery of the building structures was automatically embedded from Google Maps into Ragic to aid estimators in more accurately calculating costs before submitting final bids. Ragic is now leveraging Make.com as a convenient integration tool for simplistic linear integrations and more complex solutions that can trigger multiple actions simultaneously. For additional information on setting up general Ragic Make.com integrations, please refer to this knowledge article. This presentation outlines the prerequisites and provides a high-level overview for setting up a Google Maps integration with Ragic using Make.com, as well as a real-life example of how it's being leveraged today. Before configuring the global constraints in Ragic, there are a few required prerequisites that you must set and/or acquire for the Ragic and Google Maps integration to function properly. Number 1, set up your Google account. Number 2, obtain your Google Maps API key. Number 3, set up your Make.com account. And number 4, obtain your Ragic API key. A quick setup form will be available for free download to assist you in the setup of the Ragic Google Maps Make.com integration. Below are examples of what information is needed to set up the Google Maps integration, as well as where to obtain that information. The next step is to configure your scenarios in make.com. For the Google Maps configuration, you will need a working connection referencing the Google Maps API key. Create call number 1 to Google Maps for the address data, and create call number 2 to Google Maps for directions. In Ragic, you will need a working connection referencing the Ragic API key. Update the Ragic page with information from the 2 calls to Google Maps. Here is an example of how this integration is currently being utilized by the commercial construction company. The full property address is entered into Ragic. The distance and travel time from the base address are automatically calculated. The aerial view of the building structure is automatically embedded as an image into Ragic. If you have questions on how we created the Ragic Google Maps integration using make.com, please reach out to us at support@rrautomations.com. Thank you.
Sorry, I sorry, I turned off the mic. I turned off the mic during the demo. Well, thanks for letting me know. Well, thank you. I would like to thank our automation for doing this demos, so that we can have a good idea on what the Google Map integration and Google Map integration with Ragic can do. This is a really interesting example, and it's something that as a construction company, they really do have this kind of experience and some real world example on how this kind of integration can really benefit a company like theirs. So I think this is a really interesting demo, and our automation they are a really good partner of Ragic. So if you have any integration projects or customization projects, they would be a great choice for the service partner or from some Ragic implementation. All right, so I hope this is clear for you. So let's get back to our questions. Oh, and then I will upload the demo video and other related material to the original question. So if you're interested, you will be able to download it there. And okay, so next question. Okay, the question: better way to show field instruction. Okay, I want the instructions to disappear when user types in the value. So using field description is not very ideal. You mean the field descriptions outside of the boxes, right? There's field instruction, but somehow I still get so many questions from staff about what to fill in the field. Is there a better way to add a description instruction rather than a field instructions feature? Something very obvious, no need to hover to see. That's actually a good question. I do understand that if you add a field instruction, let me open another page. So let me add a field instructions here. So let me see. What kind of instructions? Oh, we do have placeholders now. So there's probably two choices. You could use the instructions or you could use placeholders. So, so your question should be question here, and please be as specific as possible. Okay, so this is what this should look like when you're creating a new question. So you will have the placeholder here, and if you click on the question, this question mark, this will show the instruction text here. So I think in your case, the placeholder setup is quite new. So I think in your case, you could try the placeholder because this is more obvious. Although this disappears after you enter text. So text here. So it disappears when the text is empty, but it's gonna appear when you clear the text. So if the instructions are not really working out for you, then I would suggest that you try out the placeholders. And yeah, and if there's any like other ways that the instructions could be displayed, and we would like to know, like maybe this this appears automatically when you're entering, but now to think of it, that could be quite annoying. So right now, I do think that the placeholder is the best choice right here, that you could use the placeholder, because if you're entering a new field, the placeholder will certainly be there. But the only thing is that perhaps if there's a default value here, then the placeholder won't be there. So yeah, but right for now, the best bet would be to use the placeholder. Okay, let me get a screenshot of the placeholder. Thank you for your feedback. And you want the instructions to disappear when the user types in. That also, that also means placeholders. We do have a new feature that you can use. All right, placeholders. Okay, next question. Not important, but something that can be a little more friendly, in my opinion. Um, hey Jeff, I noticed that when I create a tab, if I put the name of the tab and then immediately start typing the name of the sheet without clicking save, the tab remains unsaved. This is frustrating because I'm accustomed to software that auto-saves these kind of changes when necessary. Forgetting to click save means the sheet I created won't be saved in the tab I want. Then I'll need to go to tab manager to remove the sheet after, etc., etc. Do you think it would be better if the tabs were automatically saved once we finish typing the tab name without needing to click save separately? Let me try this first. So, because there's a lot of things that when we do that, when we when we that's not part of our usual behavior, so we're not able to find out what's unfriendly about it. But let's try this to see, if there's something that we can improve on. Create a tab and put the name of the tab, immediately type the name of the sheet. Oh, okay. So if we create a tab here, like here, test tab. Oh, okay, and didn't click save. Huh, interesting. Well, well, we never thought of because the save is quite obvious here, but you mean, whoops, without clicking save, the pad remain unsaved. Hmm. Okay. Well, because the new tab is kind of creating something in your account, so we were a little bit worried if you don't confirm it by clicking a save that it's gonna create something that's unintended. But you do have a point. If you have something like this and then you create a sheet, then it's most likely that you want this tab to be saved. Okay, I see your point. I will discuss this with our developers and see if we can do an autosave here. This kind of behavior is definitely not hard technically, but it's just something that we need to check with our user experience so that we make sure that this new behavior doesn't step on anybody's toes, so it doesn't affect any other people's behavior. We need to make sure of that. All right. You for your feedback. I do see that this All right, thank you, Sarah. Okay, next question. Next question. Struggling with understanding the concept of production template. Can you explain with an example of how to use for a restaurant? Hmm. Okay. I have gone through the template details explaining each section, the assembly, BO, the BOM, process flow, work order, but would really appreciate if you could explain this with a simple example like that of a restaurant making cheeseburgers and fried chicken as two simple items it sells. How is each section used, namely assembly, BOM? Is each recipe an assembly? Where is the recipe added? How is the process defined? It would be a great help to understand this for my business. Thanks. Well, um, I'm not super familiar with each of the templates, but I do understand the basic concept. So let's see if we can install this and give it a try. Okay, so that's okay. So this we don't need to do the more complicated BOM upgrade. We do the basic one: assembly, process, and BOM. Okay, let me open the the instructions first, so that I might need it too. All right, so this is the production management, and okay, let's try it from the other window. Oh boy. Okay, so the basic workflow is that the data should be entered in this order. So this is a big hint, so that we will know how something is should be assembled or the assembly. Hmm. Okay, let me read through the document a bit first. Whether it's for product sales, material, packaging materials, semi-finished materials, they all need to be created in this sheet. Okay, so the basically will be the including the work in progress. So the bill of material is here, component information. But what are the components? So the components are assembly. Okay. And the components are assembly. So the processes and operations are that the steps that you would do in a factory for doing these kind of assemblies according to the bills of material. Okay? But these are defining what processes there are, but the actual work should be done in a work order. So I know the basic flow of the manufacturing, the operation management, but I'm not personally involved in creating this template. So it will take a little bit of time for me to kind of match what I know with this template. Production flow. Assembly will only have one production flow. Product production flow is one of the multiple version. Product production flow is assembly. All right. Let's see what create bills of material do. Okay, so this creates one line of bill of material, and okay, so let's try out using the restaurant example. So let's create a new assembly. So let's say a hamburger is made of buns and what's that called? Patty, right? So a hamburger, burger unit will be. We don't need a unit for that. For now, source. So production. So this is produced with work orders. So let's say we're making a burger. So in house. So a burger should be made with in house with buns and patty. Okay. So yeah, that's save this first. So this number 8 is a burger. So the bill of material for this we could add it here. The bill of material. So production quantity 1. So item number component burger. Okay, I have not added the other items yet. So the next one should be buns. Bun. Source, they should be procured. And patty. Source should be procured. Okay. So now we can add the components of the burger. So we could choose. Try again. buns, patty, and whoops, not burger, but buns. Okay, production quantity 1. Oh, and it needs 1 patty and 1 bun per burger, right? So this is kind of the the how you assemble a burger. So you define a burger is made up of 1 patty and 1 bun. So the assembly will look like this. Oh, this is the patty. So we look at the burger. So you will say, oh, we have this bill of material so that you know how to make burgers. So this is one of the bill of material. And processes, okay, so this is only defining the processes and the operations. So let's see if the production flow, oh, this is multiple version of the assembly. So just for, it's a different view of the production flow. So let's see if we can create a work order to create a burger. That's what we're here for. So let's try to create a burger. So and we want to make like 5 burgers. So we use the bill of material that we just created here. And we save this. So we have 1 work order for burgers, and we want to produce 5 burgers. So let's do a bomb explosion. So in this case, you're gonna see that, you know, the bill of material for this burger, this work order, 5 burgers, and it's gonna be, you need 5 patties and 5 buns here. Okay, so this is pretty much how you define a bill of material bomb, and you can use it in a work order so that you could generate the list of materials that's needed to create this product. So the bill of material can be very complex. You have multiple levels and multiple items, and you can have a long list of work orders. And this way, using this bill of material explosion, that you will be able to figure out what items that you need to purchase and what items that will be created during each of the steps of the production flow. So materials of work order. So this is a listing of all the materials that needs to be purchased for, you know, which work order. And after you figure out what materials you need, you can make the requisitions, or you could return if they're not accepted by purchasing. Okay, I think this is a brief introduction on the most important part of the production management is the bill of material and assembly. So you have the idea that you create a bill of material on, you know, what this item is composed of, and you use a work order to explode the items that you would like to create, and have the list of materials that you need, so you know what items that you will need to purchase for each individual work orders. So if you need any other explanation, and feel free to let us know. And if it's more complex, perhaps I will ask our staff who's more familiar with the whole work order and bill of material template, and they can give you a more detailed explanation. But I think, you know, if you're confused with the concept, it would be, you know, have me explaining it. The template would be a good start, because, you know, I am familiar with this kind of production management, but not super familiar with the template. So I can give you an idea of how we grasp the concept in the template and how to map the knowledge that we previously have, the domain know-how, into a template that we have. And maybe we can even make some design changes to so that the whole design of the template can be more fitting to our current work process. All right, so please see the demo in the webinar. Thanks. All right, so okay, so that's it for the webinar for today, and thank you for joining in on our questions. And if you have any other questions, feel free to use the office hour question sheet to add your questions, and we will be answering your questions in 2 weeks. All right, thank you and goodbye.